Seth Glier, he is an amazing songwriter, singer, guitar player, piano player, nominated for a Grammy. So am I. I'll tell you about that. A little bit different. Anyways, let me sit down like this. He's going to perform for a little bit. He is an incredible force. He works with an organization. He's kind of a spokesperson for Autism Speaks. And we're going to open it up after he sings some songs and talks. I'm going to turn it over to him. How's that? Cool. All right, my leg is hurting sitting like this. That's wrong. Give him a big round of applause, Seth Glier.
So, do you guys mind helping me out a little bit this morning? I want you to stomp and clap with me. As the sun rose over the sea, everyone was singing in a minor key. Buddhists, Hindus, Jews, and priests gathered around for the Jubilee. Two old ladies still waiting on a sign, bitter with age like a yellowtail wine, shouting at the junkies in a cold street light, do the next right thing or the next thing right. Oh, you're a long way from home. Hear me sing, oh, people need a miracle to do the next right thing. Hey, hearing voices and a choir preachers, hey, diddle, diddle, now the fiddle screechers, moaning up the stairs, rolling in bed. She been talking to God since 2 a.m., saying, I don't want to go, I don't want to die, but her sister's got to save her seat in the sky. Judge me, grade me, shed some light, do the next right thing or the next thing right. Oh, you're a long way from home. Hear me sing, oh, people need a miracle to do the next right thing. Oh, you're a long way from home. Hear me sing, oh, people need a miracle to do the next right thing. Thanks. So, I wanted to talk a little bit just about inspiration. That song was inspired by complete laziness on my part. I was in bed one night, and all my equipment was packed up. And when the song was kind of coming to me, I had the lyric ideas bouncing around. And I just didn't want to get out of bed and get my guitar out of the case. So my instrument became my headboard. That's sort of, I don't know if the song would have ended up in the same place. So in a way I kind of painted myself into a corner and then had to creatively find my way out. I went to Berklee College of Music, and I dropped out of college there after a year. I learned a lot there, but the main thing that I really learned is not to get your information confused with your inspiration. I think that learning all about Mixolydian scales and what makes up a chord and music theory are an incredible toolbox to have. However, that's your information, and your inspiration comes from here. Your information is really important. However, I believe that it's what you have to say. It's your voice. Whether your voice is how you play your instrument, or how you write songs, or it's your fingerprint. And for me, a large part of my fingerprint, as Jeff said, was growing up in the house that I grew up in. I'm from Western Mass. Grew up in Shelburne Falls and live outside of Northampton now. But one of the things that was really different for me is that I had an older brother who didn't talk. He was autistic, he was nonverbal, and so for me, I had to come up with a whole different set of communication skills. And I ended up learning a lot about songwriting through that experience. I learned a lot about communicating with words when I had to communicate with my brother, figuring that out. And I'm still figuring it out. But the one thing that is a huge part of my life now is that I've embraced that that's part of what makes me the way I function. And sometimes it's hard, but that's my well. That's where my inspiration comes from. And I use the scales and the technique as just tools. This is a song, this next song I kind of wrote thinking about my brother. I'm a big Randy Newman fan. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Randy Newman? All right. Well, I mean, he did all the Toy Story stuff, of course, and, you know, you got a friend in me. But the other thing is he was always writing songs about characters. And for me, he gave me permission to never be in writer's block, because there was always a character to write about. So I chose to write this about a friend of mine who's had an incredible amount of success in his career, but he's kind of lost touch with how important our job with music is. And I ended up writing a lot more about my brother, because that's where I'm coming from with my well, and that slips its way in. This is a song called No Place to Land. I've seen my name lit up and the neon signs made me a fortune, but fame is no friend of mine. Once I had my pick of almost any pearl at the stage door, but she don't come around here anymore. Now the shoebox of memories keeps me feeling alone as I look to the skyway, this highway as my home. And so I drive all night to the next show, make my way on abandoned roads. I lost you, dismissed you, but tonight I miss you. I've been flying with my life in such command that I got no place to land. Out in Chicago, folks line up in rows. They scream my name, they came to see the tricks that sell this show. All the people, the places and faces remind me of you. I can feel you pull me like the moon. Tonight this whole city sparkles like your smile from across the room. As I close my eyes, I can see you crying in the rear view. And so I drive all night to the next show, make my way on abandoned roads. I lost you, dismissed you, but tonight I miss you. I've been flying with my life in such command that I got no place to land. Drove by the fancy cars, slept with all the movie stars, a house down in San Antone, sick of waking up alone. Tonight, no, tonight So I will drive all night to the next show, make my way on abandoned roads. I lost you, deceived you, but tonight I need you. I've been flying with my life in such command that I got no place to land. See, I've lost my place to land. How many of you guys in the room play sort of multiple instruments, sort of dabble in a couple different things? Cool. So I also think that for me, that's the ultimate way of having a song pop. Like, I wrote most of that song on the guitar, actually, and I was stuck. I needed a bridge, and the guitar is such a rhythmic-based instrument, and the piano is this very kind of melodic-based instrument. So this song kind of came out of working different parts of the song with different instruments. They have such different tendencies, and I think you know, if you have a verse and a chorus and you're writing it on guitar, write your bridge on piano, because it's going to be a totally different kind of bridge than you would normally write. Guitar was always something that I just stumbled to write songs on. It was never really like my instrument, but I've really grown to like my tendencies on it, and I'll play some of that in a minute. This is one that again, I wrote both on guitar and piano. Feel the bottom fall out, I'm losing connection. Hear the voice break up, hear the static scream. Somewhere in the concrete, I lost reception. From who I am, who I thought I'd be. Prophets and poets packaged and tendered. The heart as we know it is nothing but skin. Used to know what I wanted, but I can't remember if I gave it up or just gave in. Does anyone know how to get back from here, back to the man I used to be? Does anyone know how to just disappear? Where's the man I used to be? Where's the man I used to be? All of my memories, they have been scattered. I pick up the pieces one by one, try and tell you none of this will matter. Can I still change what I've become? Does anyone know how to get back from here, back to the man I used to be? Does anyone know how to just disappear? Where's the man I used to be? Where's the man I used to be? Ooh. anyone know how to get back from here? Where's the man I used to be? Does anyone know how to just disappear? Where's the man I used to be? 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 How you guys doing out there? Good? Cool. A huge thing that has been kind of going through my mind a lot lately are, well, how many of you guys are Woody Guthrie fans out there? Wow, awesome, cool. Woody Guthrie is another huge influence for me. You know, when you hear a song, and even if you kind of agree with the opinion that they're saying, it doesn't rub you the right way for whatever reason. It almost feels like preaching to the choir, or so to speak. And Woody Guthrie always avoided that, because he put really important things. He like social issues, like, you know, the same things that we're fighting about now, like, you know, workers' rights and all this kind of stuff. He put those things, instead of just putting them into songs, he put them into the lives of other people in his songs. And they were political, but they were sentiments that were felt from the heart as opposed to heard. And I think that's a really, really powerful vehicle in songs. I think that music is that thing where it lives underneath the surface almost all the time, and that's why when you can get into people's hearts and lives, then you've got just gold. This song, again, I kind of took that Randy Newman approach. I wanted to write about a character. And I did want to say a political statement, but I didn't want it to be preachy. And it was inspired by a conversation by a friend of mine named Ani DeFranco. And one of the things she said to me is that now, this time, right now, like our generation, we have to sort through so much stuff. And if you're a songwriter, write the songs that need to be sung. Don't just write the songs that you think other people want to hear, or the songs that, you know, even you feel like writing, but dig deep and try to write the song that needs to be sung. And which is what I tried to do on this song. Again, going back to the conversation on inspiration, this is a song about a soldier, and I have absolutely I would like never ever be able to function in that kind of environment. I have no experience with it, but I imagined, and I spoke to people who I knew who had gone through war, and I did as much research as I could to try to be true to the character. I'll play this song and then talk about it. This is called Plastic Soldiers. I had grass stains for scars, 8 years old in my backyard. Played with army men in the blue sky afternoon. Out of the pine trees and sap, plastic soldiers would attack. In my imaginary wars, I led platoons. Come home, soldier, dinner's getting colder. It's time to put your toys away. Marching orders, backyard borders. You will live to fight another day. Put those plastic soldiers away. At an army base in Kabul, I was 19, kicking up gravel. From the Humvee, a flash of light burst through the floor. An RPG and metal scraped, the shrapnel took both my legs. Now living in this body, I'm a prisoner of war. Come home, soldier, dinner's getting colder. It's time to put your toys away. Marching orders, backyard borders. You will live to fight another day. Put those plastic soldiers away. A box of soldiers from the attic, G.I. Joes with automatics, toys I saved to pass down to my own. He was running through the backyard, wearing grass stains like old scars. My legs are made of steel and silicone. Come home, soldier, dinner's getting colder. It's time to put your toys away. Marching orders, backyard borders. You will live to fight another day. Put those plastic soldiers away. Put those plastic soldiers away. Put those plastic soldiers away. So I'll think of time to do one more song and then have some questions. How are we doing on time? Cool? Good, awesome. Cool. Well, I'll leave you guys with this one, and then I'm so excited to be here today. I've been looking forward to this for a couple months now, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of this. Thank you guys. This is a song about having a crush on a girl. Southbound to a concrete canyon town. I've been 100 times before. Bright-eyed for some angel on the east side. I would drive 100 more. 'Cause in my mind I can feel the sun and hear the subway sound below. I can taste the water, I can smell her on my pillow. I may be over my head, I may be out of my mind, skin I can shed, there may be something divine. 'Cause the wind is singing out to that fog, rain is sounding like applause, urging me to drive through the day just to walk KD home. Perceiving I'll keep a watch while you're sleeping. I'll kiss the hope around your eyes. Unsaid, I'll lay a hand on the top of your head, be your reliever for the fever starts to rise. 'Cause in my mind all the city lights are like burning papers in the dark. I think I'll board a train tonight and wake up on St. Mark's. I may be over my head, I may be out of my mind. There may be skin I can shed, there may be something divine. 'Cause the wind is singing out to that fog, rain is sounding like applause, urging me to drive through the day just to walk. Drive through the day just to walk. Drive through the day just to walk KD home. I would drive through the day just to walk KD home. Thanks for listening, guys. Thanks. Thanks. So I guess this is where it kind of opens up for questions, which is the thing I'm most terrified about. Yeah, we'll start with you.
How old were you when you wrote your first song?
I wrote my first song on September 11th, actually. That was sort of the catalyst where I had to get stuff off my chest. And they started as rap songs. They weren't necessarily songs, but I mean, they're still songs, no disrespect, but they were just raps. They were raps. Do I remember the rap? Not right now. I was 12 years old, yeah. And I always sang. I sang like the national anthem for local hockey games. Wherever I could sing, I would sing. And I was obsessed with Joni Mitchell, with Carole King, with the classic songwriters. Like I fell in love with the I guess what most of my friends call oldies music. But Fire and Rain. Just yesterday morning, let me know you were gone. Like the songs that still have the same impact 35 years later. That's what I was obsessed about. I wanted to write something that was not just good, but timeless. That's what I'm still trying to do every time I sit down and write a song. No pressure. Yeah.
How much formal training did you have?
It depends. I still take voice lessons once a week. I think that there's this weird thing. For me, I'm all about coaches. I've had a lot of coaches along the way, and I think that you have professional athletes who always have coaches, and for whatever reason, there's a lot of people in the arts that get to a certain point and then that's it. And for me, I'm always learning something from coaches. Livingston Taylor was a big mentor for me when I was at Berkeley. And
I see you have exquisite technique and command of the keyboard.
I'm self-taught on piano. Yeah.
You read and write music?
I can. I would take theory books out when I was in 7th grade, and I learned out what makes a chord and stuff like that. And I had this little Casio keyboard, the ones that light up. That's where I learned all my chords from. I mean, I can't I'm not a jazz guy. I could fake it, but that's really all I'm doing. But piano, I'm self-taught, and on guitar, I'm not. It's not even tuned properly. It's tuned so I can play it with 1 or 2 fingers. I'm not. It has that droning kind of thing. And to follow up your question, from a songwriting perspective, I've had a lot of cool mentors along the way. But I study it. If I have a great song that is someone else's, I will break it down and figure out how they got to the chorus. I think those are the musical things, and then the creative things, I'm just hanging on, trying to figure it out. Yeah.
Hi, the question is do you have a specific method when you write a song? In other words, do you start with the lyrics, or do you tend to write the lyrics and the music simultaneously? If so, can you give us a little demonstration of how you approach a song?
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I was writing the raps, that was just kind of the lyrics first. Sometimes the lyrics come first. Sometimes it's usually the music and the lyrics coming at the same time. The music tends to bring out an emotion from the writing of the song. But I have to say, in all honesty, I don't really consider myself a great songwriter. I consider myself a really good editor. For me, I think my ideas I really struggle with them. But, for instance, on Plastic Soldiers, I had the chorus, come home, soldier, dinner's getting colder. It was, I was just kind of going through, and then I realized, well, lyrically, that part of the song is the maternal part. That's where the mother is almost crying out. So I wanted it to have that come home, soldier, dinner's I wanted it to have that falling thing. So that's what I'm talking about with editing. That's where I think I typically I don't approach it like a songwriter. I'm approaching it like an actor, becoming a character, yeah. Does that help kind of answer the question a little bit? Cool. Anybody else? Anyone? Yeah.
Do you have any groups that you play with?
Do I have any groups that I play with? Yeah, that's an interesting. I have played with other musicians. For me, the craft of writing songs has always been kind of a solitary one. I do a lot of co-writing in Nashville, but for me, it's it's my sacred place. So I don't. I have other musicians that will go out when I go on tour and back me. That's sort of my daily living. Is I do about 250 shows a year, and I travel around the country, and it's a great way to see the world and meet people and write songs. And I do that with several different companions, but it's sort of billed under my name. Yeah.
First of all, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely marvelous and but I have a question about the business side of how you approached your career, how you got your music out there.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in New York for a while, or how?
No, I mean I'm kind of in the middle of that. I just signed with a very large management company 2 days ago, actually, and thanks. And I have been on a record label for a while. I have for me, the business of it has been about getting in front of people and touring my butt off and earning an audience. So when you show up to, you know, Des Moines, Iowa, heaven forbid, you have, you know, 120 bodies there that are paying a ticket. That's sort of that's the reality now. As I said, I mean, I do a lot of writing for country artists. That is a part of my paycheck, but I think the most important thing is to get in front of people. That's also the way I edit my songs, is in front of a live audience, and I think that if you have that, no one takes that away from you. There are people that can help out, like record labels and management companies along the way, but it starts with your words connecting with a group of people, and for me, I think that you take care of them. I think it's more important to take care of your audience than it is to take care of yourself sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. I guess like 12 years. Man, wow, crazy. Yeah, 12 years. And I do it every day. Every day it's daunting. I will at least write every day. I might not finish a song, but I schedule it in. I give myself 2 hours every morning. Oftentimes it's like before I have coffee, before I'm thinking. I'm always trying to put myself into a corner. Like sometimes I'll just, the last thing I'll do before I go to bed is like detune the guitar so it's not in any normal sense whatsoever. And it's the first thing I do in the morning is before I've had coffee, I grab my guitar and I sit in the kitchen. And before I'm thinking about, you know, what key it's in or anything like that, I'm making music because, you know, for me it's about trying to tap into the unconscious of what's going on in your kind of in your head and in your soul. Music should just be an expression of that. I don't know. I don't try to get too analytical about it, though. Yeah.
Would you do us all the honor of playing one more song?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah, so you talk about like editing your songs. How do you know whether a song is worth editing, or like I'm assuming you might write
Every
songs, or you're just like, you know, I don't want the song anymore. Like
Yeah, I mean that happens all the time, man. Like, and I think I have to admit, I have to say, like, if I would be so full of crap if I said that when I sit down I know what I'm writing about. Like, I don't know what it's going to be about. That's why I'm writing. Like, I'm writing to try to figure out what's going on in here, what's going on out there. My instrument is just a way of tuning in. It's vibrating, and hopefully I can pick up some of the signal. So I think that editing is much more of the process of, well, what is it that I want to say? That's the craftsmanship of it. Sometimes it can be an ugly head, but I think that the creation of it is nobody knows. Like, and so I certainly don't. That's why I keep writing, is because I don't have a clue of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna, and if I did, it would bore me, and I would like become a lawyer or something. Straight up, I would. So yeah, let me do another song. Cool. Thanks. What to do? Here's a song. This is one. This was one of those ones where I wrote it and then it fell out of my life in the kind of way you were talking about, where I was just like, man, I may have believed that when I wrote it, but I certainly don't believe that now. So I kind of stopped doing it, and then other people wanted to hear it, and I realized that was a real lesson for me, because as an artist, I realized that it's not about me. It's about songs should live in service to others. This song's called The Trouble with People, and I wrote it when I was at Berkeley. It was one of the last songs I wrote. I knew that I was going to be dropping out. I knew I was going to be leaving, and I was in a relationship that was totally falling apart. And this was one of those songs. Joni Mitchell says that you're always writing about yourself, even when you think you're safe. And we were talking about Randy Newman earlier, who's always writing about someone else. And I think they both go hand in hand, because at the end of the song, I had to face a lot of truth that was going on, and I probably wouldn't have faced that if it wasn't for the song. And I saved a lot of money on therapy with that. This is called The Trouble with People. The trouble with people is they drive me nuts. Their feet on the gas and hands on the clutch. But nobody knows how to take the wheel. It seems the mind has forgotten how the heart can feel. You say the trouble with your life is that it can't be dialed. And like the clock downtown, it works only twice in a while. But everybody's out there waiting for their time. Maybe the trouble with me is that I don't know mine. 'Cause I've been told that us here humans are not made to disappear. And if I could earn my pair of wings, I'd fly on out of here. When the sun sounds, I'll chase it westbound, and to the unknown, the bending and bowing, comer and clear, yet farther from here, farther from here. The trouble with me is that I make things up. No telling in the truth when the lies are enough. But in the chasm of deceit, belief you break through. The trouble with people is they're not like you. 'Cause I've been told that us here humans are not made to disappear. And if I could earn my pair of wings, I'd fly on out of here before the sun sounds. I'll chase it westbound, and to the unknown, the bending and bowing, comer and clear, yet farther from here, farther from here. The trouble with you is I can't get enough. But it's my calloused heart that has your vanity scuffed. And now you stumble to the words of your swan song. The trouble with people is they never last long. Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. Thank you, man. Thanks for listening. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys this afternoon.